Please take a moment to settle yourself on your mat and find a comfortable seated posture, whether on a block or with your legs folded in front of you. Take a moment to notice the tallness of your spine and take an inhale as you breathe up. As you exhale, let your shoulders drop back and down and your eyes might lower their gaze. Just settling on the breath. As we begin our practice, we breathe together. Breathing in, I notice I am breathing in. And breathing out, I notice I am breathing out. Breathing in, I allow my breath to be full. And breathing out, I allow my out-breath to be long. Breathing in, I listen to my experience. Breathing out, I care for this experience. In, out, full, long, listen, care, listen, and care. Bringing your attention into the body and in particular right over the heart with the breath. And setting an intention for your practice this evening. Perhaps you're wanting more presence or a little bit of unwinding, letting go, mindfulness, whatever is right for you. This is your practice. We'll gently begin by bringing our attention to the nose and drawing the infinity sign with the nose. This allows our neck to gently move, lubricating those little joints in the neck. The infinity sign is like a figure 8, but it's on its side. So just moving slowly, and you can open your eyes or keep them closed. And just gently moving the nose, which moves the whole head. And then slowing and coming to stillness. Roll your shoulders, swimming them one at a time forward, up towards the ears, and then let them land on the back. Let those shoulder blades land on the back. Go as slow as you need to so you can really feel it with mindfulness. Coming to stillness and squeeze the shoulder blades together. Bring your fingers together, lace them, and then press the palms away, giving you a little bit of a forearm stretch. And then inhale up, exhale home. Again, exhale, press it away, inhale, exhale. Now if you don't feel like you're getting a forearm stretch with that, take your palm and just press on the palm as you push the wrists forward to get more of that stretch in the forearm here. There you go. And then take it on the other side. We can gain a lot of tension in the forearm. So once you've done that, inhale the arms up and let them come out into a T. Feel yourself getting big. We shrink sometimes during the day as we contract. So now we're getting big here at the end of the day, stretching out. Roll your thumbs back and squeeze the shoulder blades together. Yes, use the exhales to make it a little more intense. Lifting that heart. Put your right hand down to the mat. Sweep that top arm over. Feel the ribs spreading. A big breath into the ribs. And come on over to the other side. It feels so good to stretch at the end of the day. Once again, over. press into the mat, pushing the opposite hip down and over again, side bending. And then coming up into your tall seated posture, interlace the hands, this time in a grip, interlacing the fingers like this so that they're gripping into each other. Start high with the elbows above the shoulders. Pull on the hands. Feel the shoulder blades come together and slowly lower the shoulders. Lower the elbows. This is Ganesh Mudra. And then drop that one hand on the inside of the thigh. Keep the spine tall and rotate the spine to the opposite side. Back to center and flip your grip. And exhale. Release the hand to the inner thigh and keep the spine tall as you rotate the spine back. And release. Okay, one more time. Exhale. Tall spine and release into the twist. And again, tall spine, bring it down and twist off to the other side. Beautiful. Sense how your upper body has started to warm up, and then come and join me, hands and knees. Setting your block aside for a moment. And while you're on your hands and knees, try to keep them directly underneath the shoulders and hips. We begin with warming up the spine, a little cat-cow here, just undulating the spine to get it warmed up. Go as slow or as quick as it feels right for you. Explore in your own body. Pausing now in table and pushing your right heel back like it's an extension of the spine. Add the left thumb to the sky. Inhale here. Exhale. Let them sweep off center. Keep that table nice and sturdy. Inhale long. Exhale. Float it out. Inhale long. Float it away. Bring the hand to the mat. Keep that right heel lifted and lift it up, keeping the glute engaged like a skunk tail. Lifting, lifting. 3 more. Exhale. 2 more. 1 more. Knee to the mat, cleansing breath. Great job on that side. Extend the left heel back. Right thumb to the sky. Big breath in here, lifting. Float it out. Inhale long and away. Keep your table sturdy and away. Bring that right hand to the mat. Skunk tail with the other side. Lifting it up. Exhale. And again. Couple more times. And then bring that knee down, cleansing breath. Walk the hands one handprint forward. Squeeze the glutes, lift the heart. Exhale, push the hips back towards the heels, crawl the fingers forward. Inhale, float to a plank, tucking the toes. Exhale, push it up to down dog. Let the tailbone rise, pedal the heels. Soften the knees to drop your chest more towards your thighs. Inhale, forward to plank. Drop the knees, push the hips back. Inhale, squeeze the glutes, lift the heart. And releasing as you walk your hands back. Tuck the toes, bring the heels close together. Then plant your hands on the mat and push the heels back, lifting the knees just a little bit to get a good soul stretch in the bottom of the feet. This can be, with our feet being in shoes all day, they can be kind of tired. And so this is a lovely stretch on the bottoms of the feet. And you might just sit up on them, depending on how it's comfortable for you. Pay attention to what works for you. And then you can untuck the toes and lift the knees for a moment. And switch back and forth, keeping those heels close together. And then when you're ready, lift the hips high, a little softness in the knees. Pedal the heels a little bit. You can place your hands on a block if that works better for you. Come up to a halfway lift, so your hands are pressing on your shins. Let your tailbone reach out behind you, the crown of the head reaching forward. Bring your attention to your inner thighs as they spin towards the back of the room. Now bring your attention to your navel, that core. Exhale and squeeze it in. Inhale, fill the belly. Exhale, squeeze it in. Inhale, fill. Exhale, fold. Pull the belly in as you fold. Inhale, sweep your hands behind you. Use the strength of your back. Squeeze your glutes. Lifting, lifting. And tall mountain, release. Okay, beautiful job. We're standing. Now we've got some fun poses here I'm gonna play with. And it's a little bit of a balance because we end up on one foot at times. So if balance is something that you're working with, which actually we all are, it's lovely to have a chair or a table, something nearby that you can use to let your hand rest on at any point when you need just a little bit of assistance, okay? But maybe try without the chair, just have it close by. You decide. All right, so we're gonna go into an eagle posture, and then we're gonna open up into what I'm calling Emmy posture. If you've ever seen at the Emmys, those awards, how the figure looks kind of tall and lifting a big ball up, okay? So keeping the weight in one foot, you'll cross the other leg over the top. The same arm side, the arm goes under. So one leg over, one arm under, okay? We interlace those and then just kind of squat down in that and then release it, opening up. And this is where we're taking the Emmy pose. So feet land, squeeze the glutes, lift up with the gaze like you're holding a big ball, and then an option to roll up onto your toes for a moment and release. Coming to the other side, bring the leg over, same side, the arm goes under. Eagle arms and legs. Bring it down and then lift it up. Woohoo! Here we go. Reaching up on the toes and release. Okay, now you can do that again, or I have another challenge for you, and that is pigeon in a chair. Okay, so let's see what that looks like. You kind of remember pigeon from our floor postures. Well, this time bring your ankle across your knee and then just come into your chair on that one side. Bring your hand onto the foot and make sure your foot is nice and flexed, and maybe the hand on the knee, so that you can really get that pigeon happening in the chair. And let that hip get that good stretch in the outer part of the hip there. Okay, so breathing there with that stretch. And then release to that Emmy posture. Woohoo, here we go. Up on the toes and down. And then taking it to the other side. Weight in that foot. Cross the ankle over the knee. And stretch as that knee presses out. Getting the stretch in the outer hip. Breathing. Nice. And reaching up. And up on the toes, and release. Okay, how did you do? I hope that was a successful approach to your balance. And now we'll kind of bring some of that into our practice. Come to the top of your mat for your mountain posture, using 2 feet parallel with the long edge of the mat. And take a moment to just settle yourself as you stack your joints. Feel your posture get nice and tall. Shoulders are back, bringing our attention into the spine. And then our breath, letting that ujjayi breath, where you narrow the throat just a little bit as you exhale. feeling that energy coming from your dantian, just below the navel as you exhale it out. Inhale, fill. Exhale it out. Inhale, raise your arms up. Exhale, folding at the hip. Feel that nice, strong, flat back as you float it down. Forward fold. Inhale for a half lift. Strong back. Draw the shoulder blades down. Exhale and fold. Stepping back on the right. Bring the knee down for a low lunge. Hips are sinking towards the forward heel. Arms lifted. Heart lifted. Reach those hands back to frame the foot. Stretch it back. Hurdler stretch. Draw the toes back. Feel the stretch on the back of the leg starting here. Walk it forward. Tuck the back toes. Plant your right hand down. Rotate the heart towards the knee. Lift and stack the shoulders. Dragonfly twist. Bring the hands down to the inside of that foot. Walk your hands off to the right. Plant that right hand down and lift the heart again, keeping that knee open. Release the hands down and step back for your plank. We'll take a flow here. Bring your knees down, your elbows in, chest and chin. Inhale, rotate the heart up. Exhale, push to down dog. Always pausing in down dog or child's pose, whatever is right for you. Inhale that right foot up. Point it nice and high to the sky. Option to bend the knee and stack the hips. Feel the hips open a bit. Exhale, bring that right knee behind the right wrist. We'll take it for our pigeon. I like to always have my hand on a block, sliding the shin forward. 3 breaths in pigeon. Slowing us down and bringing our attention into the body. Then slide that chin back a little as you set your block aside if you are using one. Let that leg float back up, 3-legged dog. Exhale, bring it to the outside of the hand. Just like we did on the other side, walk the hands now off to the left. And then use that back bend energy to lift the right hand up. Bring the right hand down back to the mat and tuck the toes on the back, stepping forward, forward fold. Inhale for a half lift. Feel the spine get long. Exhale, fold. Sweep your hands behind you. Squeeze your glutes. Yeah, lift up, tall mountain. And release. Take a moment to notice your positioning on your mat. It might have changed just a bit. So find yourself back in your mountain posture. Take a cleansing breath. Inhale, arms float up. Exhale, fold. We're taking these moves on the other side, half lift. Exhale, fold, step back on the left, the knee comes down, untuck the toes, sink the hips towards the forward heel, low lunge. Exhale, fold, draw that right hip back, bring the toes back, get a good stretch on the back of that leg, walk it forward, tuck the back toes, dragonfly twist. These are very basic moves in yoga, but yet they can do so much for strengthening the body and the flexibility. Bring that right hand down, walk the hands out to the left, and take that hand back to the sky. Release both hands to the mat, step back for your plank. Knees, chest, chin. Coming down. Inhale, roll the heart up. Exhale, we lift to down dog. Left foot rises. Option to bend the knee and stack the hips. And then bring that left hip knee behind the wrist for a pigeon on this side. Slide the shin forward. Keep that foot or ankle flexed. Option 2, tuck the back toes and lift up just a little bit if you'd like. 2 or 3 breaths there. And then slide the shin back. Let that foot return to the sky. Lifting it nice and high, and then step it forward to the outside of the left hand. Walk your hands off to the right. Lift that hand up. And bring that hand down again. Exhale, and we come to forward fold. Inhale for a half lift. And fold. Sweep the hands up behind you, rising up. And release. Empty coat sleeves. A little bit rolling our arms left and right, dangling and releasing the nervous system, breathing. And then finding your mountain. We'll continue another C series, Namaskara C, which is a sun salutation that is in the C series. So we take one side at a time. Finding our mountain. Inhale, float those arms tall. Floating down in a forward fold. Inhale, half lift. And fold. Stepping back on the right, keeping the knee lifted this time, but 2 lanes of traffic. We're in that runner's lunge. We'll plant the right hand down, taking that dragonfly twist. And then as the left hand comes down, press the feet apart and rise to your crescent lunge. Arms alongside the ears. Let the hips sink just a bit if that feels good. And then when you're ready, drop that back heel. Toes will come off to about 2 o'clock. Warrior 1, option for temple fingers. Feet are pressing apart, hips forward facing. Left knee right over the ankle. Open the arms to cactus so the heart can lift just a little bit more. Do you see how the thoracic spine can push the heart up? Now begin to straighten that forward knee. Draw the left hip way back. Keep the arms in cactus and begin to float yourself forward. A little micro bend in the knee there, but float forward and you start to feel the stretch on the back of that front leg. Breathing with the stretch. The heart coming closer towards the leg. Soften the knee, plant the hands, step back for your plank. Take a float here, knees, chest, chin. Inhale the heart and lift up to down dog. Right foot floats up and then step it forward between the hands. Dragonfly twist. Hand comes down. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale for a half lift, strong back, fold. Sweep to mountain. Exhale, hands to heart. Release. Finding your mountain again, we'll take those moves on the other side. Inhale up. Exhale, fold. Half lift, breathing. Exhale, step back on the left, 2 lanes of traffic. Right hand down, left hand down, right hand rises, dragonfly twist. Bring the right hand down and press the 2 feet away from each other, rising, holding a focus point, crescent lunge. 1 or 2 breaths here in crescent lunge. Then drop the back heel, the toes pointing to 10 o'clock. Option for interlaced hands, and this time try and move your fingers over one. Notice the feeling, how it changes when you're interlacing your fingers differently. We try all kinds of little things in yoga. Release the hands, let the arms come into cactus, elbows at the level of the shoulders, heart is lifted. Keep your core strong. All of your moves are coming from this very core of you and radiating out into your limbs. Feel your strength in the Warrior One posture. Draw that right hip back. We're now lengthening that leg, drawing the hip back as we start to float the heart forward, getting a good stretch on the front of that right leg. Breathing. Soften the knee and step back, right foot to meet the left, coming into your plank. We'll take a nice flow here. Knees, chest, chin. Heart comes up in cobra. Exhale, tuck your toes and come to down dog. Float the left foot up, big breath. Exhale, bring it forward. Dragonfly twist. And as the hand comes down, let your right foot join your left. Forward fold. Inhale, half lift. And fold. Sweep it up, tall mountain. And release. How are you doing? I hope you're taking yourself at the right pace for you this evening. Remember, this is your practice. Practice in a way that serves you throughout this class. All right, finding ourselves back in mountain. Now we're going to take some of those balance postures here at the beginning of this, and you choose which is right for you, okay? Remember, we started with that eagle to Emmy, or you could do the pigeon in a chair to Emmy, whichever one suits you right. So coming into your front of your mat in your mountain posture, and know that this time we're going through a B series, Sun Salutation B, Sorry Namaskara B. So settle into your mountain and feel the breath in the body. Bring your attention into the body. Feel the heels. Let the heels be pushed apart just a little bit and the legs be strong. Reach the hands a little behind you and then come on into your chair. I'm going to take eagle, so taking one leg over the other, the same side, the arm goes under. Interlacing and dropping elbows towards the knees. Inhale as I open up to that Emmy posture, squeezing the glutes, lifting up through the heart and the hands, the gaze, rolling up onto the toes if that's okay for you. Exhale, let it come down and fold. Inhale, a halfway lift. Exhale, fold, step out to your plank. Now you can take a regular flow or skip it, or you can go with me, high to low, push-up, chaturanga. Untuck the toes, coming into up dog. Exhale, push to down dog. Inhale the left foot up. And exhale, bring it forward between your hands. Now we're coming here to a triangle posture. So the back toes will be pointing off to 3 o'clock and the front heel intersects the back arch. Then take a block on the outside of the left ankle as you straighten that forward knee, drawing the left hip back. You can also place the hand on the inside of that calf. Our triangle posture calls for us to stack the shoulders. And so that can happen at the lower level, or you can bring it up, whatever works for you. Okay? So take a moment to find Trikonasana. And your gaze can go off to the side, up to the sky, or down to the mat. And then once you've settled there, just kind of take your attention through the body for 2 or 3 breaths. Feeling the strength in the spine. One more breath here. Coming now to Warrior Two, the front knee lands over the ankle. Arms are parallel to the earth. Strong core. Remember, these poses come from the core of you. 2 or 3 breaths. Keep pushing the feet away from each other. Left elbow lands on the knee, right arm over the ear. Breathing. And then softly float that bottom arm up like you're holding a giant beach ball. And then sweep the arms back, reverse warrior. The back arm reaches for the earth. The front arm reaches for the sky. Keep the footing stable and breathe. Let that top arm reach the backhand behind your sacrum. Interlace the hands and draw the hands down. Let your shoulder blades come together and your collarbones widen. Find the breath in the low belly. We want that core to be strong. So let that abdomen really pull in as well as the pelvic floor. We're coming now to humble warriors. You fold to the inside of that thigh. Release the hands to the mat and walk yourself to the long edge of your mat. Plant the hands in the center of the mat as you heel toe together to a 3/4 stride with your feet, your toes out more than your heels. Let your knees be bent a bit and come on up into your goddess squat. There we go, cactus arms. Reach forward, inhale. Exhale, elbows in. Forward, elbows back, exhale. Inhale and exhale. And again. And again. Fingers forward. Exhale. Push them out in a T as you push through your heels, rising up. And what a relief it is on those thighs when we rise, right? Heel toe out to a full straddle. So the distance of about one leg. And let your heels be out a little bit more than the toes. Give your glutes a squeeze so you open up the front of the hip flexors. Lift the heart a bit. You can interlace your hands again behind the sacrum. And then reach your arms out into a star. So we're making ourselves giant. Tall through the spine and out to each side like a big star. As big as we can be. Okay, now take your one hand and bring it to the opposite hip. And then start to slide it down that side of the hip and reach the other hand to the sky. So your hand might be all the way at your ankle, whatever works for you. So your star is twisted. And now slide it back up. Come back open to your star. Beautiful. The other side. Bring that hand across. Slide it down the outside of that thigh and the calf down to the ankle. Twist the star. Inhale, slide it back up. Okay, how was that for you? If it's okay, you don't have to put your weight of your hand on your thigh. So you might actually just use the strength of your back and upper body to crisscross your star. One hand over to the other foot. Inhale it open. Exhale, cross. Inhale it open. One more time each side. And open. And cross. And open. Beautiful. Hands on your hips. Press on the top of the hips and take yourself back down to the mat. Crawl the hands to the top of your mat. Step your feet back for your plank. Take a breath in plank. And now come through your flow. Meet me in down dog. And we'll take this on to the other side. Inhale that right foot up. Step it forward. We're going to come into triangle posture on this side. Remember to keep that footing and One lane of traffic. Rotate the heart out to the side. The whole body is in one plane, kind of like pressed between two planes of glass, panes of glass. When you're ready, lift up to warrior two. The front knee comes right over the ankle. Sometimes it wants to drift in, so just make sure you use those muscles and those quads to pull it right in alignment with the ankle. Let the shoulders soften away from the ears. Take a couple breaths here. Hips can lower, whatever degree of work you're looking for tonight. Bring that elbow to the knee. Slide the hand over. Take a breath or two here. Extended side angle. Hold the beach ball. And breathing. Keeping a softness in your face, opening back to reverse warrior. Keep the feet pressing away from each other. Couple breaths here. Let the right hand or the top hand come and interlace with that bottom hand. Draw your hands down, broaden across the collarbones. And when you're ready, engage that core as you slowly fold to the inside of that thigh. Release the hands to the mat and turn to the long edge of the mat. We'll heel toe our feet together for a 3/4 stride, coming back into our goddess squat. And this time we'll take some lovely moons. So drawing your moon, bring it down to the bottom. Inhale as you rise up over the top of the moon. Exhale as you come to the bottom. You can lower and lift your hips as you wish. And again. One more big breath. And release. Press your hands out into a T as you lift back up to your star. Heel toe the feet out, coming to a nice full star. Taking a moment to enjoy the bigness of that posture. Roll your thumbs back a bit. Exhale, we'll take that twist. So bringing that hand across, sliding it down the outside of the thigh, or just touching the toes, whatever works for you. Exhale and twist. Inhale it open. And twist. Open. And twist. Open. Once more, each side. And again. Roll your thumbs back. Bring your hands to your hips. Pressing on the tops of the hips. Bring your hands down to the mat. Take a moment for an inversion here. Letting your hands support a bit of weight as you let the head release, the neck release. Nodding yes, and a little bit side to side. And then slowly walk your hands up towards the top of your mat. As you step the right foot back to meet the left, coming into your plank. Take a breath in plank and then find your flow. We all meet in down dog. 2 or 3 breaths in down dog. Let your heels drift towards the mat. With the next inhale, looking between your thumbs, and with the exhale, either stepping or hopping to the top of your mat. Inhale for a half lift. Exhale, fold. Lower the hips, bend the knees, reach the arms behind you. Come into your chair. And then taking the opposite leg over the top for your eagle. Same arm under. Take your eagle here. And open up to that Emmy posture. Squeeze the glutes, lift the heart, the gaze. Come up onto the balls of the feet. And release. Wow, that was a challenging flow. Take a moment to capture your breath again and find your mountain. Breathing before we move on to our next work with the core. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold. Half lift. Fold and step to plank. We're going to take a little bit of work in our forearm plank, so let your knees down and your chest down. And bring the hands out in front of you in a Sphinx posture where the elbows are underneath the shoulders. Now, if you're wearing long sleeves, I would suggest that you actually push the sleeves up so your skin can be in contact with the mat for forearm plank. It seems to offer better grip than clothing does. Draw your heart through the biceps a little bit. Shoulders down, breathing in Sphinx. Bring the palms of the hands together. Elbows are underneath the shoulders. Lift just the hips so you're on your knees. Then tuck your toes. Float into a forearm plank. Exhale, push it up to dolphin dog. Your forehead comes towards the mat. Crawl the toes forward just about a little, half step. Then float it out to your forearm plank. Option to lift the right heel and extend. And switch sides. Lift the left foot, reach through the toes. Back, and then let the knees down. Return to your Sphinx posture. Roll the heart up, shoulders down. Breath. Hands together. Lift the hips. You're still on your knees. Tuck your toes. Float it back to dolphin dog. Inhale forward to a forearm plank. Lift and extend through the right foot and down, and through the left foot and down, knees down, draw the heart forward. Sphinx posture, cleansing breath. Hands together, lift the hips, bring the forehead to the mat, melting heart. Breathing. Plant your hands where your elbows are and walk your knees forward between your arms. We'll come down onto our backs now. Make sure to bring a block along with you as you lay down on your back. Let's extend the right foot, keeping the left foot bent so the knee is towards the sky. Cage your ears, support the neck a bit, and lift the heart towards that knee. Use the exhale to lift. Inhale back and then lift. Engage those core muscles. We'll do that for about 6 times here. 4 more. 3, 2, 1. Releasing back and switching sides, and then repeat. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Bring both heels behind the glutes. We're going to come into a bridge. Little weight in the heels. Notice the small of the back pushes down as you squeeze the glutes to lift up. Draw the knees a bit together. Arms are soft alongside the body. Press into the heels and shoulders. Squeeze the glutes. Engage the pelvic floor. Breathe. Slowly releasing as the spine unwinds towards the mat, vertebrae by vertebrae, gently unwinding the back. Then we're going to take our feet up into the sky, and we're going to let the right foot go straight out in front of us, kind of in a scissor kick. We'll lift our heart towards that the left knee, and then switch, lift towards the right knee, switch, and lift, switch and lift, scissor kick, squeeze into that twist, and again, switch, and switch. Bring both knees into the chest, couple circles on the back with the knees. Drop the heels behind the hips. We'll come into a one-footed bridge, or repeat the bridge as you did. Let the right heel go long, arms alongside the body, little weight in the elbows, and roll yourself up, extending that right foot forward so the thighs are parallel. Breathing. 2 breaths here. Reach the toe to the sky and bring it down so you're in your standard bridge. Unroll the spine, vertebrae by vertebrae. Let the thumbs be underneath the sacrum as you bring your shins into tabletop. Extend the feet out at 45. You can lift your heart, horizontal scissor kick, and come home. Inhale up, out, and home. Inhale up and out. Exhale home. And again. 3 more. 2. You can also leave your neck on the mat if that's better for you. 1 more. Bring those heels back behind the glutes. This time extend the other leg for a one-footed bridge on the other side. Press into the elbows just a little bit, into that heel that's on the floor. Roll the spine. Float up into your one-footed bridge, breathing twice. Toe goes to the sky. Bring it down. Squeeze up for your standard bridge. And then roll that spine down, vertebrae by vertebrae. Great job, folks. Bring your knees into your hands and draw some circles on your back. One direction and then the other. A little bit of a smile from one hip to the tailbone to the other hip. Let your hands come down to the shins as the knees fall apart and you rock a little left and right. Let your breath be deep. Your exhales complete. Coming a little bit more stillness. Now take a block and slide it underneath the sacrum for one of our favorite poses, a restorative posture called legs up the wall. So let your knees come in and your heels lift up as if your legs were against a wall. And then let those heels float apart. Breathing and releasing. We're coming towards the end of practice. Maybe a time when you want to dim the lights. Gather a blanket or something to cover you. The next exhale, let the heels come back together. And then the knees in towards the chest for a gentle hug. Let the heels come to the earth, the soles of the feet coming together, the knees falling apart. And just rock the hips a little bit left and right. Let the knees come up. Little weight into your heels. Lift the hips and slide that block out from underneath you. Roll over onto your side, one side or the other. We're going to take cat pulling its own tail. You might find it helpful to place a block underneath your ear when you're on your side so you have a little room for your shoulder. Then bring that top leg forward. Place the bottom hand onto the top leg. Kick up the bottom foot into the back hand. Now, if that isn't easy for you, you can place a loop around that and draw it in. Or don't worry about that back foot. But if you are able to grab the back foot, begin to stretch that knee down so it opens the front of that bottom hip. Squeeze the glute, draw that heel in towards the glute. And take your gaze back a little bit. This is called cat pulling its own tail. Kind of a clever little posture. Breathe here. And releasing. One more breath. And then we'll take this posture on the other side. So slowly work yourself through the center and roll over onto your other side. And you may notice you're able to take the posture on one side but not the other. Whatever works for you works, right? So taking that bottom foot into the back hand and the top leg goes into the bottom hand. And then begin to squeeze the glute on that bottom hip as the knee focuses like it's going straight down the mat towards the wall beyond you. And draw that heel into the hip and breathing. And got a bit of a spinal twist and a hip opener here, breathing. Try to take 3 good breaths here. Letting the stretch unwind the tension of the day. Letting go. And then gently releasing that bottom foot and coming back to the center. If you like to keep a block under your head, that's fine, or you might come down flat onto the mat. So centering yourself on the mat, let the arms and legs come a little bit away from the edge of the body, or the center of the body. And we're coming into Shavasana, which is our final resting posture. This is a posture where we really are holding as little tension as possible. So tuck your shoulder blades under. Take a moment to press the head and the heels into the mat. And then let go and release. If we would know a little peace, we can let go a little. If you would know a lot of peace, you can let go a lot. And if you would know complete peace, you can let go completely. Breathing, softening across the brow and the eyes. Letting the mouth be soft, the tongue. the throat. Your shoulders drifting away from your ears and your arms getting heavy. Heavy, soft, and warm. All the way through the fingertips. The left leg now from the hip to the thigh and the knee. The calf, the heel, let it be heavy. The right hip, the thigh, the knee, and the calf and the heel, letting the right leg be heavy. The back body of the torso, resting against the earth that lifts to support you. Bringing the attention over the heart and the breath over the heart. Feeling that ebbing and flowing of the breath. And just anchoring your attention here. Being a body. Nothing to do but be a body. You can certainly stay in this position. But if you'd like to join me, begin to drink in a little bit more breath. Finding a little bit of movement or enjoying a moment more of stillness. Rotating the wrists and ankles. Wiggling the fingers and toes. When it's right for you, bringing your knees in towards your chest. Giving them a gentle hug or a rock. And finding your way to a seated posture. And bringing your hands together in front of your heart. Thank you for your practice and for your presence. May you take your practice of yoga into your week and into your life. May you know peace. Om Shanti. Namaste. Thank you, friends, for another beautiful practice time together. I so appreciate your attendance and your participation.